Hello YouTube, this is MPan72 bringing you probably my last stacking video for the year. I will have some other videos up, but this will probably be my last stacking video. Now, I'd like to let you guys know what my goal is for 2021, kind of rehash what happened in 2020, give you my short and possibly long-term opinions on where precious metals are going, and kind of give you my strategies for next year. Well, 2020 goals I hit pretty hard, and I really did accomplish way more than I thought I was going to be able to, which is a plus. Originally, I just looked at silver as a way to possibly retire and have enough to get me over that hump. I do plan on working even after my retirement, just something small, something I really enjoy, because you got to stay active. You can't just stop. So I do plan on working a little bit. I don't have a lot of money put away. I don't have a lot in my 401k. I don't have a lot of silver and gold, but I do have a plan, and that plan is coming to fruition little by little. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and gold and silver were definitely the last piece that needed to get me there. Anything I say is based on my situation, what I'm going to do, what I think might happen. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. I mean, literally, I'm one of the last people you want to listen to when it comes to finances. But I do know human nature, and I do see what's going on around me. I'm not blind. My eyes were opened even more this year, but I've always been pretty observant, and could make correlations. So, with all that being said, get back to my 2020 goals. I literally doubled my silver and gold goals. Over 200 ounces of silver, well over an ounce of gold, and literally I was hoping for 100 ounces of silver and half ounce of gold. That was my long-term goals: 100 ounces a year for the next 10 years and half an ounce a year for the next 10 years. So I wanted to have 1,000 ounces of silver, 5 ounces of gold, 10 years from February 2020. Now, before the medical crisis hit, I was already starting, but then once the crisis hit, I kind of adjusted a little bit, and I moved some money around, and when prices fluctuations would happen, I would try and get in a little bit more. But now I know in 2021, I kind of see where things are going. I kind of see how things are with something like this going on. And we've all been watching the news. We've all been seeing, stimulus and the presidential election debacle, and the vaccine coming out, and all that, the social unrest, everything. We all know, we all see it. We have different takes on it, maybe, but it's there. So we need to factor a lot of that into what we're doing. So my plans are for 2021 to stay the course. I would like 100 ounces of silver, half an ounce of gold. Of course, I would like to break that, get it as far over as I can, but that's my goal, and that's where I want to stick. Now, there are different things that may tweak a little bit. If certain things happen, I may go hard into one or the other. For the short term, I think for me, it's better to focus on silver. But if certain other things happen, if we see gold stabilizing and kind of looking strong, I may go a little harder with gold. Or if gold drops pretty good over the next month or two, and the ratio gets closer, and I don't play the ratio, but it does play into my strategies. I don't try to trade silver for gold or vice versa, but depending on where they sit spot price, I may have to tweak my strategies a little. I do think for the short term, both are going to go down. I truly believe this. I was pretty bullish on them until very, very recently, and that's because I see around me that so many people look at the economy and it looks strong to them. I don't believe it is, but they see it as being strong. So in my mind, that's I think it's going to drop some. I think gold and silver are going to drop short term. Now, long term, I'm very bullish on gold and silver. I think in the long term, and I mean long term as, kind of more of an intermediate term. I'd say between 5 and 10 years, I think we're going to see gold and silver hit all-time highs. I don't think they're going to the moon, either one of them, but I do think that they're going to get stronger and stronger. Kind of once things settle down with exactly what's going on now. Once we kind of settle in and we see exactly where we are, that's when I'll know. In my opinion, I'll have a better idea where I want to go with silver and gold. It's probably going to be, the same as I've always been, just buy. But how hard am I going to buy? Because I do adjust what I buy, how much I buy, not so much as whether or not I buy in the first place. Because it is such a big part of where I'm going to be at in 15, 17 years. I think I have to continue to buy under any circumstances. Both metals, more silver for me. It just makes more sense. Now I like that gold is smaller and holds more value in smaller space, but for me silver is more liquid, and I do think it's going to continue to gain popularity. So I do think more people are going to look at silver as not just an industrial metal. So I do see that a little bit. People that don't really know much about one way or the other, they hear silver and it's accessible to the common man. So I think the silver is going to get a pretty good push within the intermediate to longer term. But like I said, short term, just because I do see people just happy with the vaccines coming, and I know the job numbers weren't so great, but and they're kind of skewed anyway. But once we get back to work, and most people get back to work, I do see both metals starting to drop because I see people just not realizing that we're still in the same boat. Because beyond all this is all one thing. This whole medical thing and all that, all the social unrest, that's all completely, that's one thing. That's clouding the long-term visions with the fact that the Fed is still a thing, basically. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. A private institution shouldn't dictate our money. It shouldn't dictate what our money means and what's backing it. It shouldn't. We should be on a system where something it backs our money, not just the promise. What is the promise at this point? What is it? We're kind of not trusting our government so much. So it's not the government's guarantee. And that's all around the world, not just here. Nothing's backing our money. So I rant over. You guys already know that. Most people that are watching this video feel the same way at least about that part of it. But like I said, I do think in the short term we're going to see a significant drop. I'm not going to say it's going to go down to $14, $15, but 10%, yeah, definitely. In my mind, I could see that. I could see a 10% drop. A little bit longer than that, I do see it jumping again upwards, and then kind of leveling off and steadying off. And I would say that for me, that's the 5-year plan, I would say. And these are just numbers I'm picking out of my backside. But I think that once all this clears up that's happening now, we'll see what is really going on that we were kind of distracted from. And that's going to kind of solidify precious metals and other commodities that should be backing your money, our money, my money, your money. I did read an article, well actually on YouTube I read an article and listened to a video where I believe it's Uzbekistan isn't really backing their money, but it kind of having like a secondary currency with gold. I'll try to find that link in that video and let you guys see what you think about it. But Uzbekistan's a very small country. I don't know where it sits in the grand scheme of things, but something. It's a blip, but something. I would love to see a bigger nation. United States would be my first choice. But anything, any other nation that's important in the grand scheme of things in the world today that holds sway, I would love to see some of them, even if it's not a full backing of our money or of their money with precious metals, even something along the lines of that where they just want to push it to say, okay, well, this is another way for you to purchase. It's something else. This is real purchasing power. Anyway, let's move on. That's just ranting again. Like I said, long term, I do think that gold and silver are going to stabilize and kind of just slowly work their way up, which is what you want. You want to see that. You want to see slow and steady growth. You don't want to see these fits and starts and fits. You don't want to see that. You want to see slow and steady. My opinion. I don't know if that's the way it should work, and that's the way what financial advisors do suggest. That's just the way I think it should be. Because for me, I would feel more comfortable. It would be safer in my mind to see these things, kind of bottom out and then recover, but slowly, but steady. 1%, 2%, slow movement. That's where I would like to see. Now, like I said, I would like to go 100 ounces of silver and half an ounce or so of gold. But if I do see a significant drop, and that's 10% or so, I'm going to try and move things around again and pick up larger amounts. And if that happens during the course of the year, that's exactly what I'll do. If it kind of bounces out and stays flat, I'll go with a moderate amount, and I'll try to get a specific plan. 2 ounces a week, and when I can, some gold. But if gold does kind of drop and silver stays where it's at, I'll probably go a little bit harder into gold, because they're both, I'm seeing gold more and more for what it is. I'm not the guy who buys silver to get the gold, but I would sell some silver if gold really, really goes low, because eventually I think they are going to both kind of pick up steam and kind of level off evenly. I don't know what that means, like what that would look like, but hey, I'm playing the game. I'm making an effort. I put a plan together that I'm going to try and stick to. Now, my strategies for 2021, as far as what I buy, are going to be a little bit different. I'm going to really stay away from higher premium stuff like I have back here. Single bars from different mints, maybe a little older. Scottsdale always seems to carry a bit of a premium. Some of the really nice Canadian coins, anything slabbed. I'm going to kind of stay away from that. I'm going to stay away from sovereign coins as well, except when I can get them with really good premiums. And what I mean by really good premiums, I mean if the premium on generics, big 10-ounce bars, 10-ounce bars are not really that big, and constitutional are at $1 or $2, maybe $1.75, like $2.25 an ounce, but I see sovereign coins at $5 to $7 an ounce, I'll probably stick with the generic. If I see sovereign coins at $3, I'll probably go with the sovereign coins, especially the American Eagles and Canadian Maple Leafs, or Canadian coin. I'm sorry, I don't have a Maple Leaf here, but especially Maple Leafs, because in my opinion, in this area of the world, Maple Leaf and ASEs are the two best sovereign coins to pick up, with, in my opinion, the American Eagles being the best. Now, if I find kangaroos, pandas, Britannias, Germanias at $3 spot, and American Eagles go back up and they're $6, $7 spot, I'll go with the foreign sovereign coins. But I really want to focus on generic. I do want to focus on larger pieces, 10-ounce bars, 5-ounce bars. I would like to get a kilo bar this year, and it's because I do have a lot of smaller pieces. So I think I can start getting some larger pieces in my stack. the generic Buffalo rounds. For me, they're a little bit fun because I just like having them, and I can get them pretty close to spot. Different companies have different styles, but and then there's some other generics like whatever, anything, any kind of generic that is going to be really really close to spot. I'm going to look at. Just I want to get as much bang for my buck this year as I possibly can. I got a lot of different generic that that came in at really close to spot. And like I said, that's where I want to focus on lowest cost this year. I already got some really nice coins. I've got an Australian wedge-tail eagle, Canadian 1 1/4 ounce round. I have a 1 1/2 ounce round. I won the 1/2 ounce polar bear round. I have some other nice coins. I have some decent 90% silver, so constitutional silver or commemoratives. So I'm good there. I don't really need much more than that. I'll probably grab a piece or two of poured silver, because I do have a small poured silver collection. So I'll like Yankee calls them, my ice cream cones. I'll do that here and there, but they're going to be few and far between. Like, I'm looking at probably more like buttons and 1/4 ounce pours and just neat little things just to kind of break up the monotony. But I'm going to go hard with 10 ounce bars and generic and 90% silver. I think 90% silver, 10 ounce bars are going to be my biggest acquisitions this year. I really want to go hard. I may even go 70% of what I stacked this year in 10 ounce bars and constitutional silver. If I can get American Eagles for a really good price, if I see them, even if it's singles, I'll do that. But I really do think that to really, really lower my dollar cost average across my stack this year, because towards the end of the year, I'd say actually the middle towards the end of the year, I was really paying more than I had anticipated. I was still able to accomplish my goals, go well above my goals, but I really want to lower that a little bit. And I think that for the next couple of months, I'm going to be able to do that. And I also think when the transition happens, if it goes one way, I think silver and gold are really going to go down. And I mean more than 10%. And it's going to be a pretty quick drop. And it's going to stay there for a little while. And a little while, I mean weeks or month, maybe a couple months. And then I think it's going to kind of level out and stay there a little bit and then start climbing at some point. I don't know if that's going to be next year, the year after, or what. But I do think there's going to be buying opportunities in at least the short term, and possibly, like somewhere in the middle, like over the next, I don't know. I can't even really make that prediction because I'm not versed enough on this stuff. But just by looking at what people are saying and how people are acting right now, I think we're going to have about a year to buy, and then we're going to hopefully see a slow and steady climb. And then I think things are going to jump. I think they're going to jump before the slow and steady, and then it's going to get, continue to rise at a more a calming way, because I think something big is going to happen that's going to make more people understand that you need to do this. So we're going to see a jump, and then we're going to see certain people get in, and we're going to see a steadier increase and a safer increase and a less scary increase, because maybe I'm an optimist, but I hope things balance out over the next several years. And I'm not even going to talk about politics at all. I mean, because I don't think either way you go, I don't think they have the best interest of the country at heart. I think we're so partisan today that there's no side that we can pick to fix things. So I think it's going to be us that fix it, and I think that's what's going to happen. I don't want to come out and say things. I don't want to make predictions of what I think is going to happen, but I think something big enough is going to happen, and then it's going to be scary for a while, but then it's going to be steady. It's going to be okay. Things are going to be okay in the longer term. And when I mean okay, I mean a lot better off than what's happening now. We're not going to keep spiraling down, because I think we are going to hit bottom relatively soon. That's just where I'm at with all of this. And if you agree or disagree, you can leave comments. Leave the comments down in the comment section, and we can have discussions about this, which I really, really welcome, because I'm always open for new ideas. I'm always open for someone who knows more than me to explain it a little bit better to me, to where maybe I'm wrong about something, maybe I'm right about something, because I've always done things my way, but I always have taken people's opinions and when people present me with facts, I've always taken into account. I try to do research, and I try to look at what's going on around me. And that's just it. I don't just research things. I look to see what I believe is happening and why. And like I said about human nature, I'm pretty good at looking at that and seeing where people are headed and what they're thinking. But if you have a better idea, I'd love to hear it, because this is kind of a scary time for us all. And I hope some of my predictions are true. I really, truly do. But I've also been told that sometimes I look at things on the bright side when it comes to longer term, but darker on the short term, if you understand that. That's the way I've always been. But like I said, if you guys have any information that you would like to share, any ideas, thoughts, opinions you would like to share, please, let's have a good discussion about this. And the bigger guys that really know finances, I really welcome your opinions. I really, because a lot of times I watch a video from some of the bigger guys, and you know who you are, and everybody knows, who has pretty good handle on things. I love to watch what you guys think, because sometimes it makes me look at things in a different light, and then I have a eureka moment, or sometimes I look at it as, I think that's wrong, and I'm able to kind of help my strategy that way as well. So all opinions are always good, because the more people that chime in on something, sometimes it's something that other people missed. And I'm not too stubborn to admit when someone else knows more than me and has a point that could really, really help me, benefit me in the future, because you're foolish if you get pig-headed and think that you know everything in this world, especially when it comes to finances, politics, things like that, because there's so many factors involved that nobody can know it all. Well, that's my little end-of-year stacking prognosis and things like that, like what I think or what I hope is going to happen. Now, to close things out on a little bit of a better note, I love the holiday season. I'm really looking forward to enjoying the next few weeks. I hope you are too. I hope you stay safe, spend time with family when you can, how you can. And even when it comes to that, everybody has their own kind of way they're going to do things. I don't judge, and I don't say one way is better than the other way. With that comes to that too, everything is different. You may have people you need to avoid. You may have people you really need to see, maybe even worth the risk. But you do you, the best way. So like I said, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the season. Stay safe. I love you guys. This community has been so much to me this year. And I have a couple more videos coming out, but there was nothing else about stacking or my opinions or goals. I do want people to remember that I'm going to have a giveaway drawing on Monday for my Christmas giveaway. And that, again, is 2 prizes, one for you to pass along to someone. I will be sending both prizes to the winner and let the winner choose who they're going to give it to. And it would be great if you could either put something in the comments of that video of who you gave it to, or even if you have a channel that you create content, it'd be awesome if you could do a video of who you gave it to and why. And hopefully that can kind of get things snowballing, and we could do more and more things like that, because this community is the most giving community I've ever seen, and I fish and I hunt and I like going to the gun range and I collect cast iron and I do so many other things, but I've never seen any group of people who were, on the whole, more generous and caring individuals than I do in this community. Especially, I can't even say especially, all aspects of it. Yes, there are some knuckleheads and there are some people that I don't enjoy following or spending time with or whatever, but for the most part, I've never seen it where just almost to the man or woman, just good people. And maybe it's because they're people that, take responsibility for their actions, and they look around them and they know that being nice and being a good person is as important as, having money and things like that, because who you are is more important than what you have, I guess you could say. But this is MPN72, and thank you guys for watching this long blown out end of year video, and I look forward to our journey in 2021.